Hey, my social media family. I'm coming back again. Let's talk about marriage. What is a marriage? What constitutes a marriage? Okay, a marriage is a union between a man and a woman for consensual sexual purposes as well as emotional, mental, physical, sexual bonding. It is the only institution in which God actually gives you the right to have intimacy. I know a lot of people try to say that, oh, well, you get to date. Well, in biblical times, dating period, they considered you a spouse. You had 30 days before you made a decision whether or not you was going to spend your life with that person. I know they tell you 10 years dating. God, when he said no fornication, he don't care if y'all talk to each other for 10 years, but you can't be intimate. See, that's what people don't understand. And it's a big price because he said he'll spew you out. He's going to send fornicators to hell. He said flee from fornication. Okay? Now, if it's one of those sins that God say he going to send you to hell for, I think he really mean what he say. Marriage is a holy covenant. So a lot of people don't understand. God loves marriage. But if you're not saved and you get married, God honor your marriage, but he don't give you the blessings that he put upon saved people. Because marriage is a holy covenant, a holy institution that is governed by God the Father. See, when you take God out of it, you take holiness out of it, it's just two people who came together and made a decision to spend their life together. And God, he does love marriage, so even if you're not saved, he still recognizes your marriage, but you just don't have the same type of blessings upon it. Now, I tell everybody, it's better to marry than to burn. That's the word. People need to know about marriage. A man don't have the right because you marry him to run around and boss you all around, but he is the head. The head of a woman is man, and the head of man is God. And a man, when you say a holy institution, that man's supposed to go to God when he goes to make decisions, because God hold him accountable. But a lot of these women think like, oh, I get married, I ain't supposed to work. Yes, you do. The virtuous woman had a job in the Bible. You're supposed to be a help meet me with the bills until God take that man to the position, if he positioned him to be able to take care of all the bills. And just because he positioned him, that don't mean that you don't have a obligation to your household. See, a lot of females, they look, when they say marriage, they looking for a father. They're looking for someone to treat them as when before they was an adult, under the age of 18. Because even some teenagers, they give them responsibilities. They got to buy some of their school clothes or pay half on this and, pay the little stuff, minor stuff. But it's nothing wrong with that. They shouldn't be paying all your rent as a teenager, but if they're paying their phone bill, putting half on their clothes, or help working towards a vehicle for themselves, you pay the other half or so. Yeah, they teach them to be adults. And that's our sole purpose for raising children, is to raise them to be responsible adults. And even as preteens, Yeah, just hold on one moment. I'm at work. Just hold on. I'll run it through. You wanted to do it.
Oh, yeah, you was on the phone.
It don't matter. It ain't right.
Did I ring that up right? 13% for 2 breakfast? All-star?
Oh, yeah. You want that what you want. We're going to put that on. So, waffle, Sausage. Where's your hash brown?
Shit, grits. Huh? Well, how about we just give them a sausage biscuit? You heard me, guys?
Yeah. You said you want to just get the sausage biscuit.
I mean, if you don't have one.
Yeah. I'll use your card. Okay, that may have took a minute, but I'm back. So we can finish talking about the institution of marriage. Now, like I said, a lot of the females, you think you don't have no responsibility, that when you meet a man, you feel that he's supposed to pay everything. That's not how it works. You supposed to, God made us all to be able to make it and be independent. When we come together, we working towards the same goal. Having a roof over our head, our basic needs met, some of our goals and inspiration. We supposed to support each other even as a married couple, you know. But when it come down to, a lot of these women think they don't supposed to work, or they get money and they can spend it any which way. It's just like when you have a child. When you have a child, you're responsible for half. It's no such thing that y'all together or he pay for everything. No, you need a job. Okay? You have to pay bills. Just like when he pay his part of the child support, for everything you buy, you supposed to pay half. That's how it goes. Let's take on a grown woman situation and not a teenage girl who got pregnant and her mom and dad is helping her and she can't work yet and he's 18 and she's 15. And no. As an adult, when you have a baby, you plan to put your children first and that make sure their needs are met. That means you got to pay your light bill. You knew when you had a child that you're going to have to hit some bills, and the man ain't responsible for half your bills if he lives somewhere and you live somewhere else. He's not responsible for your bills. You're responsible. So make sure when you decide to have children that you're coming up with your portion. You know, nobody's guaranteed to live. You can have a baby by a man and something happen, he die. So who's taking care of the child? You are. But if the child needs clothes, yeah, he should give you half. Okay. He should make sure you got a cable bill, your child need a laptop. Yeah, he should pay half for the laptop. And sometimes I tell men, just buy the doggone laptop. And when it come down to the cable bill, okay, if the cable bill is $50 a month, you give out $25. You know you got a child there, they got to do homework. She responsible for $25. That's why I look at a lot of these women is, oh, I deserve. No, it's no such thing as deserve. You're doing what's best for the child and trying to make sure the father can afford him a lifestyle as well as your child. It ain't, oh, he make all this money so he should take care of it all. No, that's not how it go. And the courts nowadays are making it right. They making sure that you're not just sitting down doing anything. They're making a lot of women pay child support nowadays because you couldn't appreciate when they tried to make sure that you didn't have to work so hard because the child may stay with you. They also making these children stay 4 days at the man's house and 3 days at your house, and the next week 4 days at your house and 3 days at his. They also telling you you can no longer just leave the state with somebody's child and think you're going to get child support or deny him the right to see his child. You can leave the state and the courts will come after you and give that child to that man, because you violated his right by not allowing him to see his child. Then you females have been so ridiculous. All these DNA, you got 87% of DNA tests saying that they're not the father. So now, in order to get child support, you must have a DNA test. That's the only way you can get child support. It has to be, he can't go to the hospital and sign for it no more. He have to have a DNA test. Now, think about that. Just think about that. Okay? They're making these women, if the man has a more stable home, they give a warranty custody of his child. If he bring you in and he want custody of his child and he has a stable household, that child is going to be awarded to that man. And ladies, they making you pay child support. And they're right. You know, y'all just think y'all have a baby and move into the projects and don't have to pay real rent, and he got to pay your light bill. You still screaming, I need more money. How you need more money when your rent is $11 and his is $500 or $1,000? How? If he can pay rent, then he can afford to take custody of the child and let you go out in the world and work and make real rent. Y'all doing too much. Just doing too much. He got to make sure that child has underwear, clothes. It's only fair that he buy 5 outfits, you buy 5. Summertime come, you buy 5, he buy 5. Okay? At some point, you got to look beyond just being a child who gave birth. You're not a child who gave birth. You're an adult who is responsible for another human life. And you have responsibility. You're supposed to go home at decent hours. You can't party 7 days a week and you call yourself a mother. It's not about you no more. You should be, as a grown adult woman, after you have children, be trying to aspire to be secure financially, so you are able to provide for you a lifestyle as well as your child. Being a good mother, it means if the father is not really harmful to the child, for you to have a place and create an environment that your child can interact with the father without your supervision, because he don't need to be supervised if he's a grown man. And the laws are now putting that in order. You decided not to have a baby out of wedlock. Okay, so he go get a girlfriend. Why you mad? Why you mad? He's supposed to build his life with his wife. And his wife must understand that he have a child, and financially he's responsible for that child. When you go buy that child a toy, I mean, you can be petty and say, well, I want him to have this, and he pay half, but you can't just turn around and say, well, he barely making it and you want to get the child a video game. Mama, you got to go out there and get that video game. You paying $11 living in the projects, and he's spending $1,000 a month paying light and gas and paying his portion. He don't have it like you. That was that grace that they gave you so you can show up. Okay, child support. Y'all need to work that out. Work hours where he can go to work, you can go to work, and y'all can take and have the child be baby. You know, somebody got to babysit that child, or you paying some crazy child support. You can't just sit at home and feel that you have a free ride. You know, when that child gets to the point that he's doing a full day in work, you got to get up and go to work. While he's at school, you're going to have to make it easier. You're going to have to turn around and do a lot of things you ain't going to like doing. It's called being a mother. It's called being a father. It's called being a parent. Society, you know, they program a lot of y'all and say, men are from Mars and women are from Venus, and y'all speak 2 different languages and you don't understand each other. Big lie. You are a human being that was born on Earth, and he's a human being that was born on Earth. You speak the same language unless you're interracially dating. So you understand the words that are coming out of each other's mouth. And you have to make compromises in order for things to work. I'm just giving you one-on-one. So even when you get in marriage, I see these females screaming on the top of their lungs. Why? Let's present ourselves as adults. You don't have to yell. You don't have to scream. You sit down and have an intelligent conversation. You also got to make a lot of compromises. Everything is not your way. You're not a little 5-year-old child that's going to be a spoiled, rotten brat. You are an adult. And I'm just putting it to you like that because somehow these females don't think they ever grow up. If you done had children, you shouldn't be going home to daddy telling my daddy, I need this, and this for my baby. I need this for me. You need to be getting a job and handling your business as an adult. It's not cute. You know, there's a limit to what parents supposed to be doing for their child. Now, if you was burnt out of your home and you lost everything and you asked your parents for some assistance, okay, that's understandable. But if you are able adult body, you need to carry your behind to work and pick up your responsibility. 7 days a week at the club ain't gonna make it. And then you ask somebody else. Then you tell the daddy, I don't need you. I don't want you in my child life. It's not just your child if he's the father. It's y'all child. You all's child. I know you're mad at me and don't like what I'm saying, but I'm going to put the truth on the table because you sound stupid. You sound stupid. That's the same way you get this child out of wedlock. God, he understands you're learning. You intimate if you can come and produce a child. Not saying it's God's way and not saying God just blessed you with a child because God seen that you did what it did in order to have a baby. The natural order of how he created man and woman. You come together. If it's that season for you to be able to get pregnant, fertilization process is taking place, you're going to have a baby. Not because it's God's will. It's because you did what adults do to get pregnant. And it produces a child. You want your child to be healthy. And when you're pregnant, you have to make certain sacrifices. Like no drinking, not smoking weed. Okay? You shouldn't be listening to, I tell people, crazy rap music or acid rock or all kind of little contaminated thing because it do affects the baby. You should be reading to your belly. Okay? You should be massaging it. Okay? The baby feel your emotions. You should try to stay uplifted. Just because, oh, I told him I was pregnant, he walked away. Okay, put on your big drawers. Pull on your big girl panties or your big boy shorts. That's all I can tell you. You're an adult. You know ain't nobody guaranteed to stay with you just because you dating or you was intimate. You're not married. You made that choice. Don't blame God. Blame yourself. You made a bad choice. Because if you're just dating, you should be using protection. You shouldn't be trying to make children outside of wedlock. That's for holy matrimony. The family unit is very important. The reason a lot of people fail is because they're doing things outside of how it's supposed to be done. They putting the cart before the horse and then telling the horse to push it forward. Okay, instead of the horse being in front of the cart and pulling it along the way. And then when they put the cart in front of the horse, they hook it up to the wrong part of the cart and tell the horse to push it. And then they want to put, let's say, we're going to say 500 pounds of weight inside the cart. And then wonder why it's a struggle. And say, well, you got to go 500 miles. Okay? And then wonder why people run it. And then they doing all they can, throwing more bricks into it and everything else, putting tree limbs all in front of the horse and the cart, and wonder what's wrong. What's wrong is you did things butt backwards, made a bad decision, and you're trying to make it hard for somebody. You are making it hard for people because you didn't find the proper order. Okay? part of marriage is being able to talk and compromise in an intelligent way. Why are you screaming? I've seen so many videos, then you want to run up like you can put your hands on somebody. No, felonious assault goes 2 ways. Stop acting like a spoiled, rotten child throwing a temper tantrum. He did this. You let him. You chose to be intimate with him. Now put on your big girl panties and grow up. You're not married. He's not obligated to you. He's not. You're not married. He's obligated, have an obligation to the child. Then you want to cry before God. Yeah, God sit there and look at you too and say, well, I told you not to do this, not to do this, not to do that. You did it. You made your bed hard, you got to lie in it. Okay? Don't nobody want to hear that you made a whole bunch of bad decisions. And then I look at these females, okay. Then you want to chase a good father away. You can't see your child because you got a boyfriend. No. You need to put your boyfriend in his place and say, my child has a father. And he's coming to get his child. You're going to respect his child. You shouldn't be putting your hands on his child. We're the parents. Unless we come to agreement on disciplining the child, y'all have to come together. Okay? These men, I don't want to see another man. You can have him coming around. Yes, he has every right to come around and see his child. He's supposed to look over his child. You should be leery of a man to tell you your child father can't come around. It's something wrong. See, the first signs of an abusive person, they move everybody out of the way that care about you or care about a child. That's the first line of an abuser right there. A child coming to see their father has nothing to do with you. Then you want to turn around and play this game like, oh, well, it was only one time I was with this man. I didn't know that he was the father. First of all, you shouldn't be out here unprotected. It's not even about children. It's about being wise. You shouldn't be out here like that. It's too many STDs. I'm just going to tell you. Let's just use a little wisdom, little common sense, some form of intelligence. We shouldn't be having stats 50, 60, 70% of people with HIV in the package. We shouldn't be like that. Because we all are intelligent to know that if you do certain things, you put yourself in a high risk category to getting those things. Okay? That's another reason you shouldn't be having, and some people are going to be mad at me, so, same gender intimacy. You shouldn't be out here doing it. Because everybody's not clean. And it's going to lead to stuff. And you can say, well, it ain't just that group of people that get it. No, it's not just that group of people doing it. But when you get to dealing with certain men together, and they're not practicing cleanliness, and we done heard a lot of men that didn't know they're supposed to wash their behind. Okay. Yeah, that's a breeding ground for it. And then you get with the guys, and you straight, and you found out he's on the LD, low down. And then you got this. But if you have been making wise decisions and using protection, you wouldn't have this. You have to answer the questions that you really don't want to hear the answers to a lot of times. You got to ask the man, okay, are you really this, and this? Because there's too many men that's on that LD that the female talking about claims she don't know. There are signs. They don't hide it that good. So a lot of stuff that's going on as an adults, we got to face the hard subjects, ask the hard questions. We have to deal with the hard hurtful answers. And we got to do things in order to protect ourselves, our environment, our children, our spouse, the other parts of our family, You get in these relationships, you arguing with these men, they get to swinging. Your brother want to come over, he want to help you. Your dad running, he want to help you. Somebody can get killed. You got to handle things in a better way. I'm sorry. Everything is not about you. It's that pride. You got to put it down and humble yourself sometimes. You got to make intelligent. You know you with this man and he a hothead and he a little pooky, a little slow. You're going to have to take your time and say, well, babe, I understand you feeling like this, and this, but this is how I need things to go. You got to say on that date, well, just hypothetically, I have children, and if the father come on, you got to start setting boundaries then and putting things where you need it to be. You know, some of these people, they are mental health. And you made a decision to build a relationship with them. You may have children that's coming with different muscular sclerosis, different kind of disorders, diseases, handicaps. And you got to regard all of these things before having a child and how you going to handle it. You got to think about the hard questions. I'm just saying all of this just because, you know, it has to come a time that somebody going to have to start making women out of all these females and becoming a woman that's making better choices. But I'll be back. We're going to talk more on the marriage and the holy covenant. Because see, the God, he asked us, he said, be holy, for I am holy. And that don't mean you walk around floating on clouds saying thank you, Jesus, all day. That means live your life according to the word, be decent. Because that's all the word of God is saying is be decent. He didn't say you couldn't have a drink, but you shouldn't be sloppy drunk 7 days a week. And if you got children at home, you shouldn't be drunk. Your child shouldn't be looking at you drunk or high. It's a way to present yourself in front of a child. That's what I'm saying. A lot of you women, y'all want to walk around and be half naked around the house. You got young men, you got little boys in their house. You got to put some clothes on. Them days is over. And it ain't, oh, they gonna see it one day. No. It's inappropriate for a child to be looking upon his mother's bare body. You're his mother. Okay? Just like a little girl. I seen the woman on YouTube who had her daughter was an esthetician and had her daughter at 5 years old doing bikini waxes, Brazilian waxes on grown women. And they called CPS and they took that child. And she told me, oh, that ain't nothing. Yes, it is. That's traumatizing to the child. The child should be looking at a grown woman's body. She's not there. That's what I mean, inappropriate things, inappropriate presentation. When we have children and we get married, we have to grow up. We have to make decisions. You can't go take your money, and I'm talking to him too, and go gamble when you got the bills to pay. Y'all both have the bills to pay. You got to say, now I can't go out to the casino like I used to go out because I'm married. I have children. I have responsibility. It's just like when we live at home with our parents and we get our first job and we have money. Okay, we buy everything, but once we get married, we got to make sacrifices. That's time out for me, and we'll talk about this later. Bye, my social media family.